All right, I am standing here at the MIA booth here at NADA 2026 with Brian Hoang, co-founder, CEO of MIA. Oh man, I want to start off with this. First, thanks for joining us here today. You all
Thanks
just
for having
had
me.
some crazy cool announcements. Give us some insight into what just happened in your world.
Lots going on. We had a 20 million Series A recently
Amazing.
that we closed, bringing our total funds to 29 million, making us one of the most capitalized companies in this space right now. We're dropping product updates left and right. We started, MIA is known today as the most customizable, realistic, human-like inbound voice agent for dealerships. Now we're doing outbound communications, we're doing texting, we have the most integrations in this space. So everything is accelerating really fast, and we're really excited to see the impact that we're making for our dealers.
I love a good founder story. So tell me a little bit about what led you to enter the auto space with this particular tooling at this time. Obviously, you were kind of a little bit early on the AI come up, right? I mean, people were dipping into it, but what led you to choose auto at this timeline with this product type?
Yeah, so we started in early 2023, so we were the first generative AI player in this space, and like the brief personal history there is, this is not my first rodeo. This is my second tech startup that I've run, and my first one was very different, sold to public safety, but ended up selling it in 2021, and coming from a family of Vietnamese refugees, it's the first time I saw any real money, and so naturally I just went up and bought a Porsche with it, and that was my segue into automotive for the first time. I started a car community in Dallas. We're still daily active on the Discord today. We host our own car cruises, and that's what really brought me close to automotive. And I realized this is not only one of the largest vertical markets, a pillar of the American economy and culture, but it's also in dire need of meaningful automations and understanding your data, make sure we can elevate and advance this workforce so they're not chasing leads, they're doing the higher level priorities that the human staff should do, greeting people who show up to the floor, to the showroom floor, and the service drive.
Yeah, I think one of our big hearts for this year is we're calling it the year of the human, and not because we don't believe that tech is going to be super important in this year, but putting tech in its right place and putting human in the right place. How do you see pairing that on a day-to-day basis with so much of the automation, so much of the generative AI taking care of the not meaningless but menial maybe work that can be done by automation and keeping the human in the loop? How are you pairing those two situations next to each other?
Yeah, so as an AI company, our first principle is that our role, not just like in automotive necessarily, but as in society, is to elevate and advance humanity, right? And so it's all about how do we liberate this workforce from having to chase leads, the mundane and repetitive, like you're saying. And so we always say that MIA is meant to augment your BDC, and we automate what people currently don't want to be doing and probably shouldn't be doing anyway, not at this point in society and modernization of technology and the consumer buying experience. And so it's like we're really automating like all this volume that dealers have to deal with, like all these calls coming in of which you miss 30 to 40%. All these leads are coming in either organically or you're buying these leads and 43% get mishandled. MIA is the first line of defense and now offense with outbound, right? So making sure that you don't miss, no lead falls through the cracks, and that we maximize all this volume going into the store. We're booking those appointments, converting all that traffic going in so that your team is always stacked.
All right, so what's MIA doing? I'm seeing, it's your AI dealership employee, the best employee there. So we're booking appointments, we're doing outbound. Let's list down the things that we're taking off the plate right now.
Yeah, we're taking all calls coming in, and this is everything from answering general questions like, hey, what time does your service department close today, to booking these appointments for sales and service, being really like the front receptionist as well, triaging to people in the dealership as needed. We're really bringing a lot of rich analytics to the dealership as well. Like for the first time with MIA, dealers can understand how many calls are we actually coming in, what are people talking about, what do they care about, and then if we transfer to a human, like how are they doing resolving the tasks, like what are the patterns here that they're starting to see for the first time. And so, we're very known as the most realistic voice agent. But again, like we're really becoming this general communications engine for the dealership, right? So it's not just voice, but it's also text, not just inbound, but outbound as well. MIA reaching out to customers for you. Like you'll get the records in the CRM or DMS. Like if you just think about it, no matter how many people you have, in your dealership, just mathematically, it's impossible to touch everybody and give them a meaningful experience
thousands of customers coming through
the only way you do it is just spray and pray batch campaigns, right? And that's really not what the future of dealership marketing and advertising should be.
Well, and I talked to some of the companies that manage reviews in our space, and the number one thing over and over, year after year, of any of the pain that has to do with the dealership, it comes down to communication. And we even see that in just general relationships. I mean, everything we're talking about is customer lifetime value. How do we keep customers? What does retention look like? Communication has to be at the center of that. And so I love how you said communication engine, right? It's the driver. It's the thing that keeps the heartbeat of an operation going. It's so cool. What are you excited about this year, right? You've just got this funding. You've got some incentive to what am I going to build? The pace around AI development, the models having larger context windows. There's so much opportunity for people developing in this space. What are you excited about developing toward this year?
Yeah, I think the highest level theme here is the really exciting evolution we have is that we've been focused on automating dealership communications. This year we're starting to evolve from that to automating the dealership itself. There's so many disparate workflows and systems beyond just communications, and what we're seeing from all of our dealers is like everybody wants fewer point solutions. They want a simpler tech stack. Because like traditionally the dealer tech stack is very fragmented, it's very broken, and so is the data, right? And so building out a unified tech stack and data, so dealers actually understand how we're performing, where are all the little tiny levers we can pull to affect performance, and do all that with not like 20 different dashboards, 20 different opinions, having to manage all these logins. And so being the one-stop shop for dealership intelligence and automation.
Oh, dealership intelligence and automation. I love that you're thinking that way. Brian, thanks so much for spending a little bit of time with us. I'm excited about what you are doing, and congratulations on the funding and what you're going to be doing here in the future.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.